Welcome to wpi.edu/listen, your go-to audio news and podcasts for all things Worcester Polytechnic Institute. After you've listened in, check out our other episodes and dive deep into the exciting news stories shaping the WPI community. Tuesday, November 11th, 2025. Researchers aim to take a bite out of illegal fish trade. Kyumin Lee and Florida researchers report new DNA test IDs, shark and ray parts. A team of researchers that includes Worcester Polytechnic Institute computer scientist Kyumin Lee has developed a DNA testing procedure that could potentially help border control agents identify fins and other illegally traded parts from endangered sharks and rays. The researchers say their approach, a low-cost assay that involves a heating process and machine learning-based species detection using melting curve analysis, can quickly and accurately identify at least 55 shark and ray species, including 38 species listed under the Convention on International Trade in Endangered Species of Wild Fauna and Flora. The assay is effective even in samples that have been dried, frozen, processed, or cooked into food. We think of this assay and machine learning-based species detection technology as a molecular enforcement tool that could help law enforcement monitor trade, enforce international regulations, and combat wildlife trafficking, says Lee, an associate professor in the Department of Computer Science. The research, published in the peer-reviewed journal Scientific Reports, emerged from a 4-year collaboration among multiple institutions and supported with $2 million in funding from the National Science Foundation and the Allen Family Philanthropies. The team includes researchers from WPI, Florida International University, and the University of Maryland. The researchers sought to address a problem for law enforcement officers who battle illegal trade in animals and animal products. Fish fins and body parts from different species can appear similar, making it difficult to visually identify those from endangered species. Products also can be mislabeled and disguised, hampering investigations and criminal prosecutions. A lot of the law enforcement that we've worked with in the past say that if they cannot have preliminary evidence within 24 hours, they have to let the container go, says Diego Cardonosa, a Florida International University assistant professor of biological sciences and an author on the paper. If that first layer of proof is gone, then everything else falls. To improve identification, the researchers focused on a technique called high-resolution melt analysis, which involves collecting DNA from a sample, amplifying a specific section of the genetic code, and then applying heat to measure the rate at which the DNA melts over time. The technique can be used as a relatively quick and simple way to spot genetic differences between samples. After building a library of melting data from 669 known fish samples, the researchers used machine learning to create a model that could compare unidentified samples to the library data. They tested their process using frozen, dried, preserved, processed, and cooked fish samples. The assay, they say, cost about $1.50 per sample, took about 2 hours to complete using simple equipment that could be installed at ports and other border facilities, and was 99.2% accurate. In addition to Lee and Cardonosa, the paper's authors were Zhuang Luo, W.P.I. Master of Science, 2025, Associate Professor de Etta Mills, Emma Aitken, and Maria A. Herrera, all of Florida International University, John Carlson of the National Marine Fisheries Service, and Gavin Naylor of the Florida Museum of Natural History at the University of Florida, Gainesville. Lee has previously researched the spread of phony and malicious online information, and he has worked with Renata Conrad, professor in the business school, to understand how technologies and tools might be used to combat illegal wildlife trafficking. Threats to endangered sharks and rays are particularly urgent. Sharks and rays have been consumed as food for centuries, notably in Asia. Some Indian communities consider consumption of milk sharks beneficial to pregnant and lactating women. Shark fins are used in traditional Chinese medicine and shark fin soup. However, overfishing has diminished wild populations and endangered many species. Lee says the researchers hope their technology can be shared with law enforcement and developed to assist with anti-trafficking efforts focused on other species. The group also plans to work on technologies that can monitor social networks and e-commerce sites for suspicious trade activity. Other parts of the project will involve identifying trafficking routes and determining actions that will disrupt networks. This collaboration brings together researchers with unique skills and resources, Lee says. Together, we're trying to use our expertise to make a positive impact for social good on an important global problem, which is the illegal and destructive trafficking of wildlife.